country. The dude went on her show and lied. Somebody he did. Remember that book? Somebody wrote,
right.
fooled everybody.
Yeah.
Fooled her, tricked her. And I think about them sometimes too. It's comfortable. Y'all just want to get the people that are already self-made. What about a brother or a sister who's struggling to become an artist or struggling? Go get them too. You're from Chicago, Oakland.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Real.
Go get some of the inner cities. But what do? They go way to Africa. I ain't knocking that. That's some motherland. Why y'all always go way over there when you got brothers and sisters over here that need your help?
Right here.
You're a billionaire. Come on, bro.
Right here.
Like I said again about wealth, children. You always talk about wealth. If she die, she don't have any children. See, that's something you ain't thinking about. All this feminism and all. Man, that's another subject, bro. That wasn't even our fight. I said that before. But if she dies, she gonna either leave some money to her family or she gonna leave it to some charities. And black wealth is gone with her.
Yep, gone just like that, bro.
But you don't see Jewish people do that. They have families. Some of it's for this reason, and then you gonna marry to this. Man, let's put that boy Jay-Z to somebody in that song. Y'all don't even, don't even understand what this man was.
It's real,
bro. They sitting up talking about, man, I ain't just trying to listen to Jay-Z and all that. He ain't no God and all that. Man, you missed the whole message. Everybody know this man ain't no God or whatever. But that man hitting on something.
Yeah, he's trying to teach you something.
And bringing wealth. That's what they're doing. And we already say wealth is health too. You ain't got no money. You can talk all day, bro. We can't make no moves. We ain't got no money.
Well, that's the reason why it's important that, that I do what I do. Yeah, it's all good, man. Y'all been at it today, man. I just been here. I just been here listening.
Yeah,
y'all been on it today, man. But the thing about it though, man, that's why it's important though. As far as the wealth and accumulating thing, because we're talking about change and we're talking about the revolution will be televised and all that. Not if you can't afford to pay the bill. Right? So the thing about it that, man, you have to be able to put yourself in a position of leadership and change from being a consumer to being a producer. And that's our role in this whole thing. And we talk about it. That's the whole purpose of what I do as far as keep on pushing enterprise. Even think about a radio. Bring people together that's in different businesses that has different endeavors going on so we can give them a platform to promote their business because that's what it's about. Group economics. Everybody else knows that. Everybody else studies that. We have to understand that as well. But again, though, we got to talk about it. The mindset. We have to understand our attitude toward money, our attitude toward wealth, our attitude toward economics, our attitude toward credit, our attitude toward saving, our attitude toward one another. So therefore, like I said, it's a process. All that is a process, man, that has to come again. First of all, with understanding of the situation, not looking at people where they are, but understanding where they are, where they've been that got them to that point. And so that's the thing about it. We have to just deal with each other with that understanding from that standpoint. And so when we talk about earlier, the hate will go away, the negativity will go away because we can deal with each other with understanding. I've said this before and I will say this again. Until we see the value in one another, we will continue to devalue one another. So we have to just continue to have value and see value in one another and see each other as valuable. And as in the topic say, am I my brother's keeper? Am I my sister's keepers? Yes, we are. We have to have that collective unit and that collective love. And when one hurts, we all hurt, right? When one goes through, we all go through. So there has to be that empathy from each other's situation. Oh, that's not my problem. It's too much of that. It's not my problem. It is your problem. It is our problem because it's a we thing. And we have to look at that as us as a collective rather than an individual because individually you can get picked off a whole lot easier than you can in a group. Right? So that's the whole key. So I would encourage all the listeners that listen to the show pretty much just to practice as a group, love as a group, understand one another and deal with each other in love and patience and know that we are all something. We all has a history. We all have a story, right? So we all are walking stories. Every human being is a walking story, right? So we just have to understand that and be mindful of that, though, man. And again, though, man, okay, we've been going this thing for about an hour and some change, man. So can't do this, the streets of talking unless we can get one in about 5 minutes. But I'm going to let y'all guys go because, like I said, we've been at it for a little bit minute so we can do the summary. If we can't get it straight from the streets in, let's give y'all guys y'all high points and we can let everybody make it so y'all can go on with y'all evening as well, my brother.
Right.
So on the summary part of it, Vincent, I want you to go on and wrap it up and then give your particular summary aspect of it, unless you want to throw it straight from the streets in. I mean, the streets are talking for about a couple of minutes. If you got one, cool. If not, no problem. We can just run with the summary. You can give your high points that you want the people to leave with, and then we can let Mr. Brandon do his thing.
Okay, yeah. I would want to say the summary, man. That's just something I want, because this is Think About It Radio.
Yes, sir.
I want us to think about it. I want all of us, sticking to my black people. Now, I want us to ask ourselves, if we had $1 million, if you had $1 million and you went in a bank and there was all black people that worked in there, would you feel comfortable with leaving your money there versus if you went to a bank and it was all white people? However individual decide to ask themselves that question, just ask yourself that question and see where you are. And if you feel that you can't leave your money amongst your people and that everything will be exactly the way it should be, you know we have a problem. And if you see the problem, you have to ask yourself, well, what do I need to start? What is it about me that I could do to help change the situation so I feel like I can trust my people? Because that's a real issue for people. You know what I mean? I just wanted to, like I said, this is Think About It Radio, and this is something we need to think about, because we understand money, we're going to need it to do anything that we're trying to do. But if we can't trust each other with that money, it defeats the purpose. So we have to ask ourselves these questions and be honest with ourselves, because a lot of us will say that, you know, we're conscious and, you know, we support our people, but yet, would you take your $1 million and put it in a bank with all black people, or would you still feel comfortable with it being with all white people? That's what I would want to say in regards to what we've been talking about. And on the straight from the streets, man, the streets is talking. The streets is talking. They're talking about why is black men at the bottom of the totem pole, and it pretty much goes with what we've been talking about. You know what I'm saying? Brandon said all the time, man, they're not straight to men. Like, they're going to make us seem like we're the weakest in society, right? But when you look at everything that we engage in, we dominate everything we engage in physically, but we have no control of it mentally.
That's the problem. When you attack the mind, attack the mind, everything goes. Why, again, Think About It Radio, right? When you attack the mind, right. What does the enemy always attack? The mind. What does the scripture tell you? Guard your what? Mind, right? You know what I'm saying, though? So everything that's important with that mind, man, again, we talk about the value that we put on this jewelry and clothes and all that. You better put that value on that mind. You better put that value on what you put in your head and your dome piece, you know, because, again, if you don't tend to the garden of that mind, weeds will grow. Can you dig it? So we have to be able to get that mind right, because anything, you even talk about, you mentioned earlier, we talk about the wealth thing and all that stuff that I talk about, and shifting of your mind and your attitude and all that. Most people, some people, not all of them, some reject that information. Why? Because their mind can't wrap around it. So again, the numbers you say is low man on the totem pole is because their mind is being attacked and it's been manipulated. What is it? Television programming. Everything is coming at your head, man. It's coming at your mind. So you really got to be mindful, man, of what you put in that thing. And you can't make room for crap. You can't make room for hate. You can't make room for negativity or drama, because, again, there's so much attacks on that mind. You better be filling it with some repellent, some stuff that's going to repel that crap that's going to come at your mind. Because if you got attacks on your mind that's negative and you already thinking negative, you gone. It's a wrap. Right? You know what I mean, though? That's why you got so much depression and aggravation, because, again, people don't have coping mechanism, because their mind, they're not using their God-given mind that he gave them, you know, and we give that away. And that's the reason why I see that the numbers look like that, because we give away that power because we refuse to put information in and actually use that information, right? Every computer program, after so many times, it has an upgrade. They take that old information out and they put that new information in because it's not compatible with the changes, right? When do we do that upgrade? When do we download? When we take everything out? When do we clear our cache out? Right? And then we re-upload this new information that's in there. I think a lot of time, man, we walk around with dial-up and we need to have this Wi-Fi, right? And so that's why you think that the mindset be what it is, because there hadn't been upgrades to program. It hasn't been updated. Every time you look at your phone, what does it say? Updating. Right. What are we updating? Right. What are we doing? Are we still using old technology or old information in a new millennium kind of world? Can you dig it? Yeah. Streets are talking. Mr. Whiting, what you got for us, my brother, before we get about this thing?
Yeah, man. I want to say, too, also, man, don't block your blessings. You know, focus on what somebody else you think you should have.
Right
you know
on.
what I mean? You know, don't block your blessings doing that, because you're going to get what you at exactly where you're supposed to be, and just keep striving.
Keep on pushing.
Keep on pushing. And I also want to say, kind of tying in, you know, what you were saying about the streets talking. You know, I understand another aspect where Vincent is coming from, you know, about this idea, because that's a system that's not designed for us to be looked at favorably. So it don't matter what kind of intelligence and all this stuff we display, that's not looked at as favorably. You know what I mean? We can display it, but we still want to be over you. Even the hidden figures, you know, you had the sisters, but what you also had, you still had white men over them who was running it. So even though we see these things, but somewhere in these storylines, when they tell the narrative, they are still going to have some kind of control. You know what I mean?
Right.
To some aspect. Even with the Nat Turner, the birth of a nation, at the end, you know, it's perception. You know, we perceive it different ways, but at the end, look how they killed them. And it's like almost like they still won type of thing. You know what I mean?
Because they set the example. They set the example.
But see, we got to tell our own narrative by not, as much as we can, bro, you know, for everybody, by not using their system, because they're going to water it down. You know, they're going to water it down, bro. If me and you and Vincent, you know, went and talked to a talk show host who really wasn't, you know, they use trick questions. They can do all types of things to try to undermine what we are trying to do, because they have their hands in it. They might want to water it down. So I think we need to tell our own narrative instead of these systems as much as we can, bro. That's just my opinion, bro. Because we get to tell it how we want to, but no filter.
Right.
Now, and in closing, I want to say this, in wrapping this up, bro, I want to say that we asking y'all, as our people in our community, you know, just as much you support these entertainers, these black, and that's good. You're supposed to. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, you like your artists and everything. But also support some people that's trying to share with you some financial stuff, what we talking about, this history and all that. Support us too.
Yeah.
Support us too. This is what we trying to say. Just don't support the athletes. You know what I mean? And the music, because R. Kelly, he get in trouble the rest of the time. He make a song, and then everybody, we forgive him. I'm not saying don't forgive him. You know what I mean? If that's your business, you know what I mean? But I'm saying support us too. Just because we're not entertainers, and me and Vincent, we kind of, me, Shelton, and Vincent really kind of entertainers too. But support us and stuff we'll be talking about.
On.
Support us.
Right,
exactly. That's what we ask.
Real,
support. That's it.
Support education.
That's it, man.
Real.
That's
bottom line.
Bro.
It's all good. It's all good. Hey, I appreciate you guys' time.
Appreciate us.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys' time, though, man. For real, though, man. I appreciate everything. You know, we've been going at this thing for a while. You know, the time goes by real fast, over an hour and some change, but it is what it is. Hopefully, you guys are fed by the information that we're putting on this table. Hope you guys like what we're talking about. Hope you guys share this information with your friends, have discussions with your friends about everything that you heard about on this Straight from the Streets Roundtable, because that's the whole point of everything, to get you to think, to get you to understand, and to get you to be better, because once you know better, you got to do better. And so we have to look at our numbers. We have to look at what we face as a society, where we are right now in this place and time, and what can we do to propel and get it better? What can we do to propel and move each other forward? And again, want for our brothers and sisters what we want for ourselves, because it's all love. If it's not all love, then what are you doing it for? Because love is from above, right? So God is good, right? So we got to love each other, man, and care for one another, and then lift each other up, man, and just see each other as people, as individuals, as humans, right? Let's look at each other like that, man, and then stop the hate. Stop the drama. Stay the drama for your mama, like the old school saying, man. We don't need that. There's no room for that. We have enough issues going on as it is, and we got to be a united front, and we can't have any infighting. We got to be able to fight for one another and not fight each other. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Appreciate you guys, man, for everything, man. Mr. Whitting, Mr. Booker. Y'all hit me up. Shelton J. Think About It Radio at yahoo.com. At Think_radio on Twitter. Think Radio on Instagram. Keep on pushing enterprises like that fan page at Keep on pushing ENT on Facebook. I'm sure you will like that information on there. We're talking about income shifting. Everybody wants a raise, right? You can get a raise without even going